country. Diana Ross and the Supremes team up with Motown label mates The Temptations for I'm Gonna Make You Love Me, the first single off a full album of collaborations. The song hit #1 on the U.S. charts and reached the top 5 in several foreign markets. November 22nd, 1995. The first fully computer-animated film, Toy Story, is released. It was also the first feature movie from Pixar, and its box office success kicked off a multimedia franchise. November 24th, 2005. Best known as Mr. Miyagi from the original Karate Kid films, actor Pat Morita passes away at age 73. He also played drive-in owner Arnold in Happy Days, along with voicing the Emperor of China in 3 of Disney's animated Mulan films.
And that's the Week in Hollywood History on iHeartRadio. Most of our listeners own a toothbrush. 95.3 WDAE. And AM 620. You're listening to Football Friday. Presented by the team at Wesley Chapel Lexus. When you think Lexus, think Wesley Chapel Lexus. Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Broadcasting from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. Where Buccaneers fans call home. All around the world. We are 95.3 FM, W237CW Pinellas Park, WRUB HD3 Clearwater, and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeartRadio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Bucs fans. Free has never sounded so good. It's time, man! The stage is set!
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome home, baby.
I like this kind of party. Putting the fun in dysfunctional.
Yeah!
Each and every weekday morning, the Pat and Aaron Show.
Is it a little too early for being that loud?
Good Morning Tampa Bay.
And here we go.
Now your hosts, Pat Donovan and Aaron Jacobson.
Good morning, goons. Welcome to the Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Our open line to you just slightly. Aaron Jacobson off today. He'll actually be off tomorrow. Yeah, we're all off tomorrow. Today, Monday, and Tuesday. He'll be back on Wednesday. He's got a wedding and partying to do, and you know, it's that time of year where we're all taking our vacation days before they go away at the top of the year, right? So he'll be out the next few days, and I'll be out later in the month again, as I was last week or whenever the hell it was. But it's a Football Friday and a loaded Football Friday. And if you're watching online, you may see that I put a very Rays Football Friday because we're going to talk a lot of Rays baseball, and you probably know why. But we will start off with a very impressive showing last night by the Tampa Bay Lightning as they get back into action. And and Aaron and I talked about this a little bit last week, I hate these week-long breaks during the season, especially this early in the season. But you get a team like the Winnipeg Jets coming in last night, and if you're not, and I think a lot of people with hockey, it's like not quite like basketball, but they don't, because football season is still going, they don't really start to get that engaged until the season's gone on a little bit. If you haven't been paying that close attention across the league, the Winnipeg Jets, 15-1 heading into last night's game. Just a single loss on the entire season, and the Lightning beat them 4-1. Really nice game. Jake Gensel scores his 6th goal, and just listen, he had that in the first period, and then they come out in the second. And how many times last year did we talk about this team not doing a great job in the second period and either losing momentum or falling behind? Instead, they come right out Brandon Hagel, Anthony Cirelli with a couple of goals, and they're up 3-0, and they never really look back. They win 4-1, another goal late, empty netter for Jake Gensel, but a nice victory to start after the break, after the stupid week-long break. I don't need those in the middle of my hockey season. I like every other day, or, you know, not every other day, but a couple games a week is just right. And not, as we talked about last week, not on NFL Sundays. Don't do that. Don't put NHL games on NFL Sundays because we're not watching. Even when the Bucs are on their bye week, as they are on Sunday, I would not watch NHL hockey, any of it. And I love you, Lightning, but not when there's football on. So again, it is a football Friday. We'll have football pick'em. Jeff Attinella will be in studio. As a matter of fact, Jeff, when I told him Aaron was out, was like, let's go. I'm coming in early. So Jeff's going to be here probably early in the 7 o'clock hour, as a matter of fact. But we'll have football pick'em with Jeff Attinella from Smack Apparel. Also, our guest picker this week is our friend Mike Lucacina from Magnanimous, one of my favorite breweries in Tampa Bay. Just if you like hazies and you haven't been to Magnanimous, shame on you. You're missing out. So Michael Lucacina from Magnanimous will be hanging out for football pick'em. But as I said, it is going to be a very Rays football Friday. Steve Carney joins us at 7:30, and we'll be talking with him and with you about the breaking news last night. I woke up, I think, from my nap to this news that the Rays, and I said this the other day, and I don't want to say it was poo-pooed, but listen, we all had heard that Major League Baseball really wanted the Rays in Pinellas, as did some other people in Pinellas who we'll get to. Some schmucky people, or one schmuck in particular, we'll talk about in this show, really trying to rain on the Rays parade as if the rain during Milton didn't do enough damage to this team. You're trying to screw this entire fan base. You know who I'm talking to. We'll get to that later in the show. But the news yesterday was that the Rays will not, in fact, play in Pinellas. If you've not heard, when I'd be surprised if you're listening to the show and you haven't heard, but the Rays are going to play their 2025 season at Steinbrenner Field, of course, right across from Raymond James Stadium. It is the spring training home of the New York Yankees. What a weird, like, you go from the spring training home of the New York Yankees, and then, boom, you flip a switch, and it's going to be the regular season home of the Tampa Bay Rays for the 2025 season. And I had said the other day, and I didn't necessarily think it would happen, because I did expect them to try to figure out something on the Pinellas side because of some of the stuff we had heard about what might go on with the commission, and we'll talk about that. Chris Latvala, how you pronounce his name. We'll get into him.
Who?
Yeah. We'll get into him. But I kind of expected that it would end up being in Pinellas in some capacity. And our favorite lunatic, Leonard, who you know is Rays fan Gio. Casey, his real name's Leonard. I don't know if you've learned that yet since he.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you know
I think
Leonard.
it's hilarious that you're the only one that calls him Leonard. It's awesome.
Well, we all should. Because the fake name thing is a little odd. But he tweets like a lunatic about this stuff. I don't know how many tweets he sent us last night.
2 hours ago, this morning, man.
But he had this whole scheme, this whole idea about the Rays playing at like several ballparks this season. And I just never thought that was viable at all. You know, you want to talk, listen, I think there's going to be some kind of like strangeness, and I don't know if it's a disadvantage or not. It's going to be weird playing it at a minor league ballpark at Steinbrenner Field. And listen, Steinbrenner's nice from everything I've heard. I've actually never been there. My first game at Steinbrenner Field is going to be a Rays game, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if it's a disadvantage or not. I do believe had they gone with some kind of cockamamie idea, like let's play some of the games here and some of the games there. Remember, they had that idea once, but it was a totally different thing with Montreal. That was a bad idea. That was a worse idea than playing several places in the Tampa Bay area. But I never thought that was viable. I didn't think it was necessarily fair to the team or the players. Like, what a pain in the you-know-what that would have been. So I'm glad that they've landed on a home for the 2025 season. It's going to be interesting to see. Like, right now, my initial reaction, and I can't wait to hear your initial reaction. You can call the show, 888-546-4620. You can text 82945. Make sure you start your text with DAE if you want to jump aboard. I'd love to hear how you feel. Are you excited? Best case, worst scenario. You know, obviously we would prefer probably at the Trop. Maybe some of you wouldn't. But I'd prefer that the Rays were not put out and in this weird situation. And we'll get more into why it's really potentially damaging. But, yeah, I'd rather they just be at home. But outside of that, to me, this is about as best case scenario as you can get. I love the idea, personally, of Steinbrenner Field. I think it's going to be really cool. Now, if I go to a game in mid-July, like I just told somebody called in about a concert, right? And I was like, well, I'm not going to, I don't know, if it's outside in June, I'm not going. So now I'm going to do it for the Rays. If I get there and if I'm just miserably hot, am I going to change the way I feel? I don't know. But right now, I think it sounds pretty cool. And Aaron Jacobson, I don't know how he feels, but you on your way to the airport, or are you leaving the airport, sir?
I'm on my way to grab my friend from the airport.
Nice.
I had to call in, dude. I know you're going to get to it later. I don't have a lot of time.
No, listen. I am going to get to it later, but you listen, like you said, I know you're picking up a friend. You do whatever you need to do here. You get it off your chest because I'm pissed off too, and I think I know where you're going. I hope.
Latvala.
What a schmuck.
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Who are you? Who cares?
Can we exile him?
What? I would love, we got to go after this guy.
Oh, we're calling him.
I mean, let's call him. Let's do all of it. I mean, this guy claims he's doing this for his constituents. What a politician, man. What a politician. He might torch decades of revenue for Pinellas County, for St. Pete, because some grudge of them not playing at a minor league stadium for a season. What is that?
It's called being a Phillies fan and putting the Phillies before the Rays. And you want to talk about your constituents? He's a liar. I'm sorry. This guy's a schmuck. His comments are disgusting.
Stupid.
I mean, what a win for everyone.
It
we
could
know
be.
where they're playing. It's in Tampa Bay. It could be. And let me say this quickly, because we're going to be ripping this guy till the end of time until he figures this thing out for Pinellas County. But Tampa, I put it out yesterday. I'm sure you saw it, Pat, at Jacobson on air. I mean, this is the time. This is the time. Show up or shut up. That's it. Show up or shut up. We've been saying it for how long, Pat?
A long time. Hey, we'll be giving out his number today and his email as well, Aaron, so he can hear from everyone.
It's good. He can hear from the constituents. He can hear from all those constituents. And he's like, I've only heard from 2 that want the Rays to stay here. It's like, get out of here, man. Stop it.
It's the whole thing is pretty disgusting. I'm not happy with it at all.
We have a lot. It's war now. It's war, Pat, and the goons are going to have to be unleashed because we're going to have to make this work.
You know what? I demand an apology, Aaron Jacobson, and a commitment to vote for the bonds, to vote for the ballpark. That's the only outcome that can be acceptable from this schmuck. Otherwise, he needs to be exiled and told to leave our country forever.
Is it an apology to us, or is it an apology to everyone else?
Oh, no, dude.
Okay.
You and I are not that important in this, and you know that, and we've never been that. We might be we are the show of the people. This is about the people. This is not about us. An apology to Rays fans, right? Pinellas.
I know, but if I could be powerful enough to get someone to apologize to me directly, that would be pretty cool, too.
I don't need it for me. I need it for Rays fans. Pinellas and beyond. You know I'm a hero, Aaron. Pinellas and beyond. I need it for Rays fans, Aaron.
All right. Listen, we're in this together. This is a battle. This is something that's going to be cool. The Rays are going to be at Steinbrenner Field. Rays fans show up. This is it. We got a battle ahead of us. Strap in. It's going to be fun. Strap in.
We got to get the Yankees thing off the wall, too.
You know what my favorite part about it is?
They're paying $15. What?
My favorite part is I live right down the road from Steinbrenner in Town and Country, so that means I can go to the games and drink more.
Honestly, I'm not shocked that's your favorite part, and I'm going to hold you to it. You're going to the games. I'm going to go to most of the games. Pat, you're going to be going to the games this year. I know you are because it's closer. This is it. We've been saying we want this. We're going to scrub the Yankees sign off. That's what you get for paying $15 million a year to scrub. And it's going to be our ballpark, and it's going to be our Tampa Rays.
Hey, Aaron.
You can say Tampa Rays now.
Just remember, there's a lot of good things going on, but it's going to be easier to drink and drive.
I didn't say that. That means it'd be a cheaper ride home and there, you know?
Oh,
the
Uber is cheaper. What was I thinking, Aaron?
This kid's got his priorities set.
So do you. Enjoy your weekend. Tell your friend I said hello, and we will talk soon.
Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Let's go Rays.
Peace, love, and hair grease. Yeah, we're going to get into Chris Latvala after today's top headlines. We're giving you his phone number. We're giving you his email. Rays fans, this schmuck needs to hear from all of you, and we should not be satisfied. And again, it doesn't need to be for me or Aaron or you or anybody else, but for all Rays fans, we should never be satisfied until Chris Latvala apologizes to all of you Rays fans and commits to voting for this ballpark. Because what he's doing, trying to hold this team hostage after a natural disaster, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. There are good politicians out there. Not many. But this guy, he just dropped to the bottom of the list, dude. This is disgusting the way you want to hold this over the damn franchise's head, over the Rays fans' head. Try to screw this fan base out of a team they've worked so hard. I'm disgusted. All right, we got to hit a break. Can't be too disgusted for today's top headlines with Casey Warner. That's coming up next in the Pat and Aaron Show. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
WDAE.
Traffic update.
From the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Good morning. Crash in Pinellas Park on westbound Gandy Boulevard near Grand. That is just east of US 19. That's blocking a couple lanes. Also a bit of a slowdown on westbound I-4, just west of the western end of the Polk Parkway and through the Plant City area. No major problems to report on 275 throughout the area. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Hey guys, it's T. Kraz here for CMK Construction, the kitchen and bath experts. In the aftermath of the storms over at CMK, they know that home is where the heart is, and they want to bring everyone together by remodeling kitchens and bathrooms, also refreshing the spaces that matter most to you. CMK is committed to helping you restore your home better and stronger than ever before. They've been in business more than 20 years, luxury products, quality install, and guys, voted #1 again by readers of the Tampa Bay Times People's Choice Best of the Best Awards as the top kitchen and bathroom remodeling company in Tampa Bay. They've been doing it for more than 2 decades, so whether it's a transformation, repairs, or simply lending a hand, CMK Construction is there for you. So check them out. Let's rise together, remodel together. CMK Construction is where it's at. 813-321-4426. That's 813-321-4426. Or online, cmkconstructioninc.com. CMK Construction, the kitchen and bath experts.
St. Pete Clearwater is still shining. The sun is out. The weather feels just right. And we're ready to welcome you back to the vibrant Gulf Coast. Explore Clearwater Marine Aquarium or marvel at the amazing Dolly Museum. Cast a line with Hubbard's Marina or dine under the stars with Starlight Cruises. Save 30% or more on select hotels and attractions at StillShiningDeals.com. Brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, home to America's favorite beaches.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
For many, the holidays can bring on feelings of anxiety, depression, and grief. So NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, reminds you to prioritize your mental health. Be sure to exercise and get enough sleep, set financial and emotional boundaries, and seek meaningful connections in your community, and continue any mental health treatment you're currently undertaking. Remember, you are not alone during the holidays. Visit NAMI.org for information, resources, and support. NAMI.org.
T-Kraz and Chris Mathis here for our good friends over at Moss Nissan, where the goal is to never lose your business over price. And all month long Black Friday savings in the month of November. The best selection of new Nissans in the Bay Area and no payments until 2025.
That's right, Tom. They also offer rates as low as 0% and pre-owned vehicles priced wholesale to the public.
And every purchase comes with the industry-exclusive Moss Care, which includes lifetime oil changes, tire rotations, and so much more. Moss Nissan, whatever it takes.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
We're looking at lots of sunshine today, and it's not going to be as hot. Our high right around 80 degrees, and that's going to be the trend over the weekend as well. On Saturday and Sunday, both days mostly sunny. Our high right around 78, 80 degrees. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
BetOnline.net is the world's most trusted betting platform with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, basketball, hockey to entertainment. BetOnline has you covered. Head to BetOnline today to get in on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Bookmark it. 95.3 WDAE.com for all your Tampa Bay sports needs and more. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app. Top headlines.
Time for today's top headlines brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate and Casey Warner's very intelligent dome piece. Casey Warner, good morning.
Good
You know
morning.
what? Actually, let's flip the script here for a second. Let's do things a little bit differently for 1 second. I know you've got some good stuff for us, but allegedly Pat in Citrus Park says he has news on Steinbrenner.
He does.
So if he's got news, what better place for it than during today's top headlines? Pat in Citrus Park, good morning. Headlines us.
Hey, good morning, goons.
Nice.
God
Pat.
bless you. Hey, here's your news. Back in the day, in the mid-'90s, Steinbrenner, the baseball park was supposed to be just down next to Raymond James, just so you know. And they charged the city of Tampa a half a cent on their sales tax, and that was back in the mid-'90s. I actually almost came over from Hawaii to build that stadium.
Wow.
You know me because I've met you at in the press box with Chris Mathis about a year ago. I'm the guy who has a $500 bet with him. He's going to get down on one knee with Lily. And then here's my other hot call.
Wait, what's the bet that he's going to ask her to marry him? Because we know
he's going to propose if Baker Mayfield has to take a knee to win the game. I don't care what stadium it's in. Boom. He's going to propose to her. And he said, well, that'll be my choice. And I said, yeah, of course. It's going to be probably the best choice you ever made in your life. Let's get back to Steinbrenner Field. Make a long story short, George felt really bad when he robbed that property because that's where the original stadium was supposed to be, the baseball stadium, where, the field is just south. Yeah. So they ended up building the stadium right across the street. You know that little overpass? It holds 16,000 people. By the way, it's perfect for Rays fans. And, yeah, you're absolutely right, Pat. We're going to rip down that Yankees sign, and we're going to put up a Rays sign.
Yeah.
We're going to put up, Devil Rays sign.
Whoa, Devil Rays. We're going old school, huh?
Yeah, well,
right.
I just turned 62. I just retired. But
Congrats.
I do work at Raymond James, and I do see you in there. I'm the good-looking guy. I'm the good-looking Pat.
All
not
right.
the ugly Pat.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not the good-looking Pat.
I had to jab you on that one.
Hey, that's all right.
But now, so you understand how Raymond James Stadium was built, and Steinbrenner felt so bad that he built a baseball stadium across the street. Then, watch this. You ready?
I'm ready.
My son went to Steinbrenner up in Lutz because I live in Citrus Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd stick him on the bus before I went and built homes all over this place. I know everybody in this place. You don't even want to know. I've been here 16
I don't
years.
even have time to know, to be honest with you, Pat.
Well, hell, I know you live in Temple Terrace, so you know how that rolls. But so just so you know, he felt so bad, he gave that property to Lutz. Just so you know, that's where T-Cross lives. Oh, by the way, the new show's going to be called CNC. That's Chris and Casey, and you got to find a slot for them.
All right.
Well, listen, that's not my job. We've got people here that work on that kind of stuff.
Now it's mine because you guys got rid of Momola. So now you get the picture, right? How the origination started. How
Pat,
that
I love you. I have to let you go. This is today's top headlines, but thank you for the news. I'm not sure what was the news there, Casey Warner.
I guess the news is that T-Crass lives in Lutz. I didn't know that. He lives in Odessa, as far as I know.
You vetted that phone call, didn't you?
What do you mean? Like I asked him? I asked him, yeah.
If he said I had news, I might have said, what's the news?
That's what I asked, and he was like, "Yeah, I got 3 minutes. Just give me 3 minutes with Pat."
I think we gave him 3 minutes.
About 3.5 minutes. I agree.
Well, let's give you 3 as well.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. So there was a pretty damn good Thursday night football matchup last night, and if you're the New York Giants, Pat, you're just kicking yourself continually, not only for the Daniel Jones deal, but for letting go of Saquon Barkley. I mean, he is just a monster.
Well, you heard what John Mara said, right? The Giants owner.
What'd he say?
It was on the Hard Knocks offseason where they showed like the phone calls where they were telling him like, hey, it's just not going to work and you're too expensive and all that. And they showed John Mara talking to the GM and just saying like, I think he was talking to the GM. He said, I'm going to lose sleep if he signs with Philadelphia. So you're 100% right. He clearly is.
And last night, he just went off again. I mean, he's having an all-pro, first-team all-pro kind of season. 146 yards, 2 touchdowns on 26 carries. And then, of course, he added 52 through the air receiving. And, I mean, it really wasn't as close as the score said, in my opinion. In the second half, the Eagles just kicked it in. They took over. The Commanders tried to come back in the end. Jaden Daniels threw an interception in that fourth quarter with about 4 minutes to go. And the Eagles just showed that they are the class of the NFC East.
Yeah, Aaron seemed surprised when I told him I took Philadelphia minus 2.5 in that game. I did bump. It was 3.5, and I bumped it to 2.5. Just, sometimes a field goal game is all you need. But he was surprised that I took Philadelphia in that game. And, don't be surprised by the Philadelphia Eagles anymore, people. I know they had a rough end of last year, and it seems like everything's not necessarily copacetic between the quarterback and the head coach, and that's not always great, but it's just a really good football team. As a matter of fact, to me, it's clear at this point, and we'll see with San Francisco as they get healthy, but right now, the class of the NFC is the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. And what do those two teams have in common?
Quarterbacks that haven't been making mistakes.
A loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both those teams have lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is what's frustrating, I think, for me and a lot of Bucs fans, is you've seen this team, when it was at its best, when it was at its healthiest, beat, again, what is clearly the best two teams in the NFC. One of them, you handed them their only loss. You could see what the Bucs are at their best. Right now, they're certainly not that, and they haven't been that in a while, but that's why I think for people that are, get rid of everybody and blow this thing up, I think they're a little bit silly because the Bucs are a lot closer than people think.
They really are. When fully healthy, I couldn't agree more. And Philadelphia moving to 8-2, the Commanders falling to 7-4. I think the Commanders will still be a playoff team, but the Eagles are just well ahead of them right now, as you saw last night.
Think about that. The Lions and the Eagles have 3 losses combined, and the Bucs have accounted for 2 of those.
Yeah, pretty impressive. So definitely noteworthy. And also noteworthy, of course, we're going to get into it later, but definitely got to mention that yesterday in the weigh-in, Mike Tyson slapped the crap out of Jake Paul. It's on, baby. 8 p.m. tonight for free on Netflix. Just the subscription is all you got to have. Don't got to pay anything extra. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, baby.
Yeah, we'll throw it on. The wife and I will probably throw it on for a little. At least I will. I don't know if she'll. She doesn't like to watch people punch each other in the face. I do. I don't know. I like Jake Paul a lot more than I ever thought I would before Aaron and I interviewed him. Unbelievably self-aware during that interview. Like I told him, I'm a 46-year-old dude who kind of hated that you were a YouTuber, and I thought you were kind of like making a joke out of boxing. And then I was like, I realized how hard you're working at it. And he was like, I totally understand why somebody your age would hate me.
I remember that.
He's like, I totally understand. I was like, whoa. And after that, I gained a very different appreciation for Jake Paul. That said, I'd love to see Tyson knock him out. A lot of things, I heard him talking about it on ESPN overnight that are very different about this fight when it comes to yes, it's a real fight and it's, it's under all the rules, but not under all the rules, right? Like they're not, where the hell is it again?
It's in Jerry's World.
Yeah, it's in Texas. There's a kid that got eliminated for weed. right? We all know that Tyson owns a weed company and is like we know Tyson is smoking weed. They're clearly not testing him for that. Also, typically 10-ounce gloves, they're wearing 14-ounce gloves, which I actually think the later the fight goes, if it goes a while, that might benefit Jake Paul.
Of course, the younger guy.
Yeah, younger guy, the heavy gloves you might wear out if you're Mike Tyson, but I'd love to see Tyson just catch him with one, man. I think most of us would. All right, when we return, we talked about the news. Aaron called in, so we got to it a little early when it comes to Pinellas County Commissioner Chris Latvala and what he had to say. We'll tell you what he's tweeting and why you need to reach out to him. We'll give you his phone number. We'll give you his email. Aaron said it. This is where we need to come together as Rays fans, and we should be all over this guy until he issues a public apology to Rays fans and commits to voting for the bond so this ballpark can get done and not holding it over a Rays fan's head and the ball club's head because of a natural disaster. Like, what a schmuck. We'll get into it next. It's Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
International Diamond Center's incredible semi-annual store-wide sale is coming November 22nd through 24th. It's a 3-day, $60 million event. You can take up to 20% off virtually anything or get zero interest financing. That $2,000 Diamond Eternity Band is just $56 a month. Up to 20% off or 3 years zero interest financing. All rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, all fashion jewelry, plus special pricing on all GIA-certified diamonds. It's November 22nd through 24th at International Diamond Center. Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. On approved credit.
T-Kraz here for my friends over at Green Tech Roofing and Solar. It is hurricane season, guys, so be prepared. Don't wait for a bad storm to come before you get your free roof inspection. My guys over at Green Tech Roofing and Solar can do it. You can have it done before the storm and after the storm. They will document everything over at Green Tech Roofing and Solar with their free roof inspections. They do residential and commercial, over 400 5-star reviews. So get out in front of it. Get ready for hurricane season. Go to greentechroofing.com. Tell them T-Kraz sent you.
Chris Mathis here on behalf of my friends over at Prize Picks. And let me tell you this, Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, meaning your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keep your lineup live. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. A play I'm looking at this week, Lamar Jackson, more or less 235.5 passing yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will find out. Also, download the app today and use code Mathis to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Mathis to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
It's been a long time. The official Eras Tour book coming to Target on November 29th, featuring over 500 photographs from the tour, including never-before-seen performance and behind-the-scenes images. And for the first time, the Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology, with 35 tracks on CD and vinyl.
Only at Target.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Sunday morning at 9. Gear up for your Bucs football game day with the Insiders. 60 minutes of wall-to-wall insight, analysis, and commentary on all things Bucs and NFL. From the most trusted voices in Tampa Bay, Rick Stroud, Scott Reynolds, and Pat Donovan bring you the Insiders. Presented by the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network and the Department of Children and Families. Sunday morning at 9 on the home of the best Bucs coverage. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
It's a December to remember at Wesley Chapel Lexus, the largest Lexus dealer on Florida's West Coast. Drive home a new Lexus RX, our best-selling SUV for over a decade. Or the new Lexus TX with all-new third row. Plus, you get our exclusive lifetime plan. Plenty of new Lexus inventory arriving daily. When you think Lexus, think Wesley Chapel Lexus. WesleyChapelLexus.com. Largest dealer on Florida's West Coast based on volume in 2021, 2022, 2023.
I want to tell you about one of my guilty pleasures during football season. Eating chips, wings, and veggies with my favorite dips while watching football. This year, I have a new dip addiction. Daisy Sour Cream came out with French onion and ranch dip, and they're a game changer. These are as good as your homemade dips. They have real herbs and spices and ingredients you find in your own kitchen. Daisy Sour Cream, French onion, and ranch dip. Try them both today and find out which is your new dip addiction.
The Annika, driven by Gamebridge and Pelican Golf Club. Tickets and info at theannika.com.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
The Lightning and Winnipeg just their second loss of the season. Jake Gensel scoring twice as the Bolts ended a 4-game slide and beat the Jets. The Bucs are on their bye week, but they made a roster move yesterday, claiming safety Mike Edwards off waivers from the Titans. NFL last night, the Eagles over the Commanders in an NFC East showdown. Saquon Barkley, 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. College football tomorrow includes South Florida visiting Charlotte. I'm Matt McCoy.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on the land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios, the home for Team Tampa Bay, over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Aaron, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Aaron is off today, Monday, Tuesday. That won't work. I went the wrong way on the internet. Don't go the wrong way on the internet. Follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Find us. We're new again, sort of. We had to rebuild the YouTube thing. If you liked and subscribe, go back, like, and subscribe again. It will change your life, or it won't. One or the other, but it'll be really cool for us. So like and subscribe. 888-546-4620 if you want to jump aboard, talk about this. Again, it is a football Friday, and we'll talk plenty of football. We've got football pick'em coming up today, but it's big news that we just got yesterday about the Tampa Bay Rays and the fact that they will be playing at Steinbrenner Field this season, which, again, on the one front, I think is kind of cool. I'm excited to go to a Rays fan at Steinbrenner Field. I'm assuming that on a hotter day, I might sit there and whine and complain, as I'm known to do from time to time, about how maybe I wish it was indoors. And this is a problem. I will just about guarantee you, Casey Warner, write this down. You don't really have to. But I just about guarantee you, and you'll probably be with me so you'll know and you'll remember when I do this. There will be a day or a night that we're at Steinbrenner Field watching our Rays, and I'm going to look at you or somebody sitting next to me and go, this is why they need to play inside. We'll say that to each other at some point this year.
We will, but I can see it already. One of the promotions this year is going to be a little Tampa Bay Rays fan, like a mini personal fan. I can already see it. It's perfect.
Baby powder?
That too.
How about baby powder day?
Towels, cooling towels, all the above, man.
Well, I'll just be walking around Steinbrenner Field throwing baby powder up our shorts.
Sure.
888-546-4620 if you want to jump aboard. Again, you can also text your thoughts to the Bartow Ford DAE text lines 82945. Message and data rates may apply. This, though, in my opinion, is very important. And I'm pretty pissed off, to be honest with you, as a Rays fan. And that's who I am. You know, I host a radio show. I'm a Rays fan, period. And it is beyond infuriating that somebody like Pinellas County Commissioner Chris Latvala would put this baseball team in a position, put this fan base in a position where we can't just try to do our best to enjoy the upcoming season, we can't just do our best to make the best of a worst-case scenario, because now you're holding it over this team's head that you're not going to vote because the Rays are going to play their games in Hillsborough this year as opposed to Pinellas, that you're not going to vote for the bonds to pay for the new Rays stadium. It's one thing if this was already your idea, and maybe it was, I don't know. But this is the way he's handling it. I'm disgusted by Chris Latvala. I think you should be disgusted by Chris Latvala. And I hope that you are heard. If we make any videos today off what we're doing, actually, I forgot to start recording this, Casey Warner. I just started right now. If we make any videos, that go out on social media today, let this be the freaking one. Because I hope everyone that sees this video or listens to my voice right now on the air, if you care enough about Rays baseball, St. Petersburg, Hillsborough, and I know Hillsborough, you're not his constituents. I don't care. Flood this guy's voicemail. Flood this guy's email. Tell him we will not stop as Rays fans till he cuts the bleep and he apologizes to Rays fans for holding us hostage, and he commits to voting for the bonds for a new ballpark. Here's what this schmuck tweeted out yesterday. And by the way, the agreement, of course, that they made is that they're going to stay in the Trop until the new ballpark was built, all that nonsense. Of course, that's what they're going to do. Or were going to do until a natural disaster, Chris Latvala. Here's what he tweeted yesterday. If the Rays violate the spirit of their own agreement they made with the city/county in July, then I will vote no on the bonds. I represent my constituents first and foremost. Which, by the way, isn't true. It isn't true. He's representing the Phillies right now because he wanted the Rays playing in Clearwater at the Phillies facility, which obviously probably would have included potentially some upgrades to that facility. But he's got his dirty paws all up in the Phillies, and they got their dirty paws all up in him. And that's all it's. And I shouldn't say that about the Phillies. Maybe that's not fair. But this isn't about his constituents. This isn't about doing the right thing for this area. And I'm pissed off, regardless, even if there wasn't this tie to the Phillies that this schmuck and his dad have, even if that wasn't there, even if it had nothing to do with that, for you to take a natural disaster that cost so many people in Pinellas and Tampa Bay so much, for you to take that natural disaster and turn it into a hostage situation for this baseball team is disgusting. And I hope that you hear from Rays fans in Pinellas and beyond. I hope you hear from Rays fans all over the country. Hell, I know our guy Neil over in London is listening. The Clitheroe brothers, they watch from London. They're Rays fans. I hope they call and email this schmuck. I hope he hears from every single Rays fan how disgusting he is for trying to hold us hostage after a natural disaster. This isn't the Rays deciding to pick up their bag and leave. It was a natural disaster, and everybody's trying to make the best of it, but you. If you're as disgusted as I am, and believe me, I'm not alone. I saw plenty of you on social media yesterday. If you're as disgusted as I am, our friends over at Micro Championship Wrestling, Athletics, actually, because they're doing all kinds of stuff now. They tweeted at me yesterday with the numbers, so very easy for me to give out to you. If you're driving, you might want to pull over and write this down. Don't forget, you can always go back on YouTube or any of the podcasts and hear this again. 6:43 right now, if you want to make sure you do that. Yeah. If you want to call Chris Latvala, you probably have to leave him a voicemail. I'm sure he's not real accessible to his constituents. If you want to call Chris Latvala, 727, we'll give this out a few times today, 727-464-3278. You can also email him at clatvala, CLATVALA, at Pinellas.org. You should tell him here about, you should tell him here, yeah. You should tell him how disgusted you are about him holding a Rays fan base hostage, because I think you're disgusted. I know I'm disgusted. I've heard from a lot of you, and this is gross. Shame on you, Chris Latvala. You are the reason why people hate politicians. This greasy, disgusting action let's be honest. This is about the Phillies. It's not about the Rays. This is about you. It's not about your constituents. And to me, this is about you being a schmuck. I wish we could exile you to a terrible country somewhere else. Let people that care about this region and this ball club and this fan. I'm so angry I can barely speak. If you need to reach out to Chris Latvala and let him know that you want him to act on behalf of Rays fans and not Phillies fans, 727-464-3278 or clatvala at Pinellas.org. We'll give it to you a few times today. Let's make sure that he hears Rays fans' voices because he's disgusting.
What a moron.
I wish he was just stupid. This is worse than stupid. All right, we've got to hit a break. Nick's going to get after me today because I'm not on the clock because Chris Latvala, it's your fault we're late for the break. Chris Latvala, that's right. I'll put it on you. Let's switch for a second instead of talking about people that make us sick and talk about people that make us very impressed and very happy. And that's our friends at Suncoast Credit Union. They're always there for you, unlike somebody else I was just talking about. Suncoast Credit Union during Rays season, they're donating money all the time. But also, listen, if you need to save money, whether it's any of their options to save money over at Suncoast Credit Union, they're going to do unbelievable. Their checking and savings accounts are amazing. Their loans and credit cards, they've got everything you need from a banking perspective, just in a better way, because they're there for you. They're a nonprofit organization. That means all the money they, quote unquote, make, it goes right back into servicing their customers and serving the community. And that's why we love Suncoast Credit Union, because they know how to serve the community. Chris Latvala. That's why we love Suncoast Credit Union. You should start serving the community. All right, when we return, we will get into some Buccaneer talk. It is a football Friday, and old friends back. We'll talk about it next. Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. I'm like shaking. I'm so angry at this schmuck.
WDAE
traffic update
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Crashed in St. Pete on Dr. King and 94th Avenue. Also in Pinellas Park on eastbound Gandy Boulevard at Grand Avenue. The left lane is blocked there. Seeing delays now in the Plant City area on westbound I-4 from before Alexander over towards Branch Forbes Road. And, of course, in Tampa, westbound I-4 just before 275. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you. As you recover after Hurricane Milton, lean on them for help with cleanup and repair. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farah and Farah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farah and Farah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
Live it up at the Downs. Tampa Bay Downs is back in season. The best live thoroughbred racing around. Admission is free on Wednesdays. That's right, free on Wednesdays, only at the best of the best Tampa Bay Downs. Racetrack Road in Oldsmar, TampaBayDowns.com.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The Sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
If you were injured while riding in a Lyft or an Uber, you might be entitled to compensation. These big corporations are responsible for keeping you safe while you're riding.
faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Hey, this is Kyle Brandt. You're busy. I'm busy. But every single Monday, we take 10 minutes to dish out 10 takes. NFL, life, whatever, but never more than 10 minutes. It's 10 takes with Kyle Brandt. Driving home from work? You got time for 10 takes. Taking a smoke break? You still smoke? You got time for 10 takes. Listen to 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt and start listening.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
The event you've been waiting for, International Diamond Center biggest store-wide sale of the year, is next weekend, November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
20% off or 36 months, zero interest financing next weekend only at IDC, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
Get up to 50% off New South Windows and Doors. Visit our showroom on November 16th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 40% off. Want that extra 10% off? Show your U.S. military ID or bring a Toys for Tots donation. Visit newsouthwindow.com/50 for details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When I set out to build our firm, it was built for greatness. It was built for you. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Today, Morgan & Morgan has more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. If you or anyone in your family has been injured, call America's largest injury law firm. Call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com. Visit ForThePeople.com for an office near you.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
We're looking at lots of sunshine today, and it's not going to be as hot. Our high right around 80 degrees, and that's going to be the trend over the weekend as well. On Saturday and Sunday, both days mostly sunny. Our high right around 78, 80 degrees. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
Sports talk for your ride home. On The Drive with T-Crash. This afternoon at 3. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. Really good point brought up on the Bartow Ford DAE text line. A couple of you texted in about my saying .org at the end of Chris Latvala's email. It is not. It is .gov. So my mistake there. I should have looked that up. I got it from a secondary source that was also incorrect, like myself. But it's my fault. So .gov, it's clatvala at pinellas.gov. And also the phone number if you want to call Chris. And I think voicemails would be very effective. I think you should let Chris hear it in your voice, how much of a schmuck you think he is and how disgusting it is that he's holding our baseball team hostage and a whole Rays fan base hostage. 727-464-3278 is how you get in touch with Chris Latvala. But I did promise you some Buccaneer talk on this side. It is a football Friday, but we just got such massive news on the Rays yesterday that we kind of, and listen, it feels like the Bucs bye week is here at a perfect time because, well, we've got a lot of Rays news right now, and the Bucs really need to get healthy. And one of the things they're doing to try to shore up a secondary that has been just a real problem so far this year is bringing back Mike Edwards. He was waived from the Titans, and the Bucks were awarded Edwards on waivers yesterday. They also let go of Isaac because of that. And listen, I like Keenan Isaac, a decent football player, but hasn't been able to get on the field and really help this team in a secondary that really needs the help. So Mike Edwards is a guy, I think he's versatile. He can play a lot of positions for this football team. And again, a guy we've seen can be a ball hawk at times, can get to the football, can make plays, was a big part of a Super Bowl run here. So is he going to come in here and fix this football team and fix this defense? And, Mike Edwards is back, so we're back defensively. This team, no, that's not, of course not. But absolutely, for a team that has covered nobody, absolutely massive. That's why I said yesterday, as much as Tristan Wirfs is the Buccaneers' best player, getting back a kid like Zion McCollum, which they do expect back, I believe, is just as important because they're not covering anybody. The only person on this football team since Servassier Dennis got hurt that's covering anyone is Zion McCollum. And he's having an unbelievable season, and it sucks to see him dealing with a hammy, but they need him back. They need Jamel Dean back. I know a lot of you, we had this conversation, a lot of you were not very happy with Jamel Dean's play earlier in the season. Listen, he's been up and down. There's no doubt about it. A lot of corners are, unless you're elite. And there aren't a lot of those guys in this league, especially today, under these rules. But you've seen, whether it be Tyreek Funderburk or Josh Hayes, they absolutely need Jamel Dean back after the break as well. But another reason why this is a decent week to have the Bucs on a bye week is we've got ourselves nice little schedule of football games for Sunday, right? It's hard. Listen, if the Bucs are playing at 1 on Sunday, we're just not really paying attention to the rest of the league. Not the way that we would like to, right? I know for me, for instance, and the Bucs, if they were on the road, me and Ronnie Lane are sitting here in the studio. We've got Red Zone on one station. We've got the Bucs game on the other TV, but we're focused, almost solely on the Bucs game. Same thing when I'm in the stadium. I've got Red Zone on my laptop, but I'm focused almost solely on the Bucs game. This weekend, we've got some really interesting matchups at both time slots. We start at 1 o'clock. The Ravens and the Steelers is a big AFC North matchup. I mean, that's two teams that absolutely have a chance to come out of the AFC, even though I still think, regardless of whether or not they look dominant or not, it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, because why wouldn't it be? We've also, what's the other one? I know there's a couple of 1 o'clock games I was really looking forward to. The Packers and the Bears, a very interesting game. The Bears are kind of on a skid. We'll talk a little bit more about them in the 7 o'clock hour and what I think was a foolish move by that football team. But we've also got Broncos and Falcons, hoping that the Broncos can do to the Atlanta Falcons what they did to us in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3. San Francisco hosting the Seahawks. Not an unbelievable game, but, decent. But the 4 o'clock game, 4:25 game, we're all going to be paying most attention to. And, yes, if you're at home, you'd be able to do this after the Buccaneers win or loss if they were playing at 1 o'clock. But, for instance, for me, I wouldn't be able to watch the Chiefs and Bills because I'd be smack dab in the middle of a post-game show for the Buccaneers. So a lot of interesting matchups. Even Bengals-Chargers, I think, on Sunday Night Football, pretty interesting. A lot of these games, of course, as part of Football Pick'em at 8 o'clock with our friend Michael Lucacina from Magnanimous Brewing and, of course, Jeff Attinella from Smack Apparel. They'll both be with us for Football Pick'em. Jeff's actually going to hang out a little early, wants to come talk some Rays baseball with us as well, which we'll do at 7:30 with Steve Carney. We'll get his thoughts on the Rays playing over at Steinbrenner. But I got to tell you about Aaron Jacobson, because this guy, and he was on earlier, and we just didn't have time for me to poke fun at him, but I got to do it now, because Aaron Jacobson likes to pretend he doesn't think I'm cool because I'm so much older than he is. But you may have noticed a couple years ago, if you saw the social media from us out at Army-Navy game, that we had almost identical peacoats on. Well, come to find out, after the year before, Aaron saw my peacoat. He liked it so much, he bought one that was almost identical to look just like me. He wants to be just like me. Well, now, Dummy was thinking about this dealership or that dealership, and I told him, dude, no, what are you doing? Go see my friend Derek and everybody over at Mazda of Clearwater. It's going to be the best experience of your life. He calls me yesterday. He's like, dude, what was I waiting for? You were right. He leased a Mazda 3. Yes, the car that I bought from Mazda a couple years ago, he bought the exact, or at least the exact same car. So once again, he's proven he's trying to be just like me, that young Aaron Jacobson. And I'm proud of him. He made the right choice. It'll be the right choice for you. It'll be the best car buying or car leasing experience of your lifetime. It was a lease for Aaron, a purchase for me. It'll be the best no matter which way you go with Mazda of Clearwater. They're right there on US 19, just south of Roosevelt and East Bay Drive, and of course online at MazdaofClearwater.com. We've got a loaded 7 o'clock hour coming up, including one of the dumbest football moves I've ever seen. Steve Carney on the Rays situation, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, much more. All coming up on the Pat and Aaron Show.
Attention all football fans. Old Spice Swagger Deodorant 4-pack is back at Costco. Get ready to unleash the greatest smell in the NFL. Old Spice Swagger is the ultimate 24/7 odor protection for all the football fanatics out there when used daily. But here's the catch, folks. This limited time offer won't last forever, so head to Costco and grab your 4-pack of Swagger Deodorant. Don't let those game-winning moments be overshadowed by unwanted odors. Get your Old Spice Swagger Deodorant now.
At Rivard Buick GMC, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent storms. We understand the challenges of rebuilding. And if a new or a used vehicle is a part of that journey, Rivard is here for you. Rest assured, the massive discounts you're accustomed to remain, regardless of inventory levels. While many dealers may raise prices based on availability, Rivard stands firm and is committed to supporting our community through this tough time. Visit RivardBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Get ready, golf fans. The LPGA is returning to Tampa Bay when the Annika, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, takes over Pelican Golf Club November 13th through 17th. Join us for a week packed with excitement as the world's best female golfers, including former champions Nelly Korda and Lilia Vu, compete for glory. Choose from daily grounds passes starting at just $25 or enjoy the Lightning Lounge with complimentary food and drinks. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at theannika.com and be part of the action.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Tampa.
For every ouch, oops, and uh-oh, there's a Band-Aid brand product that's best. Get great, dependable, everyday protection to help minor cuts and scrapes. The ultimate protection. From bandages to blister cushion. Your life is unique, so are our